Hey crafters, it's Maymay again for another episode of Maymay Made It. Do you see this pile of what looks like a big mess on my desk? Which I'm sure everybody's desk looks like this, right? If you're a crafter, let's don't fool anybody and say that ours is always clean, because this is how mine looks most of the time. But honestly, this is one project, and here's what you're gonna need. You know, in all seriousness, that was a lot of fun and just joking around with all my mess on my desk. But you're gonna need the Art Philosophy cartridge, or any cartridge you have that has an oval shape. I'm gonna go to the oval. A circle and an oval, actually. Because for the card today, you're gonna need a 2.5 inch circle. This is a 1 3/4 inch circle. And this is cut from, I don't have the name of this one. It's a brown cardstock and I don't have the name, I apologize. And you're also gonna need 4 3/4 inch ovals right here. So I'll show you how that comes together in a few minutes. Then, and that's all you really need from your Art Philosophy cartridge, put that aside. You're going to need a strip of decorative paper to go along the bottom of your card, whatever size card you decide. I'm doing an A2 card, which means it's a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this is a 4 1/4 inch strip for the bottom. You're gonna need a 4 inch by 5 1/4 inch background. And you will need something for a sentiment. Okay, first things first, I want to prepare the card, and I've already scored it using my Martha Stewart scoreboard, and this cardstock from Close to My Heart, just look, and that's not even using the bone folder, it just closes so nice. And this color is called Juniper from Close to My Heart, really pretty color. Now for my corner rounding today, I'm not going to round the bottom. Let me hold it like this. I'm not going to round the bottom of the card, I'm going to round the top corners with the 1/2 inch setting of the corner chomper. And then for that background piece that I'm going to put in here, I'm going to do the same thing to the top of it. Now if you don't do this ahead of time, you get a funny looking edge. You'll have like points that go off the edge. So you want to do this before you adhere it down. And now let's stick it down. And this paper that I'm using, which is gorgeous, is the Stella paper line from Close to My Heart. It is absolutely beautiful. I think it's my favorite. I don't know, there's some pretty stuff over there. They've got the Pemberley collection if you're a blue and yellow fan, and this one I think is my favorite. And then we're just going to adhere this down. Now I'm not paying as close attention to the bottom as I am the top, because I want a nice edge up there. If the bottom is not the same distance away, I'm not worried about that, because we're going to cover it up right now. This again is from that Stella paper pack. I just love the circles and the stitches. I think it's so pretty. I'm going to turn this over. And if you know, Close to My Heart has the little edges that are the little strips along the edge of their 12 by 12 paper. They call these something, and I can't remember what they call them. I apologize. I'm sure I should know that. But this one, I'm just going to, and in order to line it up really good, I'm going to open the card up. Start at one corner and get one corner right. Then I'm just going to follow the edge. And if you had a little hangover, no big deal, just cut it off, but that's how we're going to do the front of the card for now. So we'll stop right there. Now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and prepare my cotton ball, and you're going to see what this is for in a minute, but this is a 1/2 of a cotton ball. This is a whole one, and I cut this cotton ball in half. I'm going to show you how I did it. You want to cut it in half, not where the swirl is, but in the middle of the cotton ball. So you're just going to take some good sized scissors, and you have to kind of work it. And when you do this, it kind of seals like a little circle. It kind of makes like a little circle in there. So you'll you can either use this side or this side, whichever one you desire. And when you see what it is, you'll be able to decide what you want to do. But we only need 1/2 of this today. And what we're going to do next, the front of our card, we are going to make a little circle in this area, kind of a cutout hole. And we're doing a couple things with it. Number one, we're going to take, like I said, this is the Stella paper. We're going to take this paper, and I'm going to come down here, and I'm just going to cut a circle. This is a 1 3/4 inch circle punch. So that's what I'm going to start with, is the 1 3/4 inch circle. Then I'm going to take my 2 inch scallop punch, and I'm looking through the top of it. I'm going to line that circle up in there so that I get a cute little scalloped border. You want to make sure you get it as even as you can, and then punch. Now this paper is not cardstock, this is paper, so you want to kind of just let that fall out and don't pull it, because it will rip. So now we've made a little edge border for our next part of the project. Now what I'm going to do is take some Dotto. I don't know if you have any of this. It's temporary adhesive. And on the back of this circle, I'm just going to temporarily stick this down to a center point on the bottom of the card because I want to see where I'm going to be cutting my hole out of the card. All this will make sense when we get to the finished project. So now I'm going to just use that as my guide for cutting my next circle. Just like that. And now see, I have a circle cut out. So whatever we put behind it will show, and that's going to be the fun part. Now we're going to take this little circle that we cut out and put it right around the edge so we get a cute little border. Cute, huh? And for this we're going to use some bonding memories to adhere this down. And bring the card back over, and you just want to line this up on the edge of the circle we cut out. With this bonding memories, you have a little bit of time, but not a lot to adjust. So you want to kind of get it on there as good as you can, as quick as you can. Look, it's cute already, huh? Okay, so now let's work on the inside of the card. For the inside of the card, I told you we were going to need one more piece of paper. This is the same Stella paper from the front. I just cut it out. We're going to adhere the back side of this paper down now just to give us some interest. And the good thing about this is we know this paper color matches. We don't even have to guess. Front side, back side. And with this, I'm going to put it on just like we did the front piece. I've already cornered around those edges so that we don't get the funny corners. And you just stick that on. Now for the fun part, this is the surprise part. Remember how I showed you before how to make the monkey and we did the chick? Well, now we're gonna make a bunny and you're gonna get the whole point after we do this, so this will be fun. Here's what you need. You need your circles, and the first thing we're gonna do, I'm going to be using some liquid glass to adhere all this together. So I'm gonna pull that out. And we're gonna take the big circle and our next circle. We'll move these little ovals aside for a minute, and we're gonna adhere this together like this. Body and head. How cute is that already? Stick that down. Now what you want to do once you get the head on, you want, because we're doing a silhouette, so we don't mind it all being the same color, but you want the head to kind of come over the top of the shoulders, and then you want to flip the bunny over, and you'll see why in just a second. So now we're going to apply our ears. Same thing. A little glue here. Put on an ear. Now if you want to flip it over at this point and make sure your ears are lined up where you want them, those look good to me. Now then, our feet, and we're going to adhere our feet like this. Again, flipping it over and adhering the feet on the back side of the bunny, and I'll show you why in a second. So here we go. This is the back side of the bunny. Now the reason we wanted to put the ears on the inside is because we're going to be looking at the bunny from the back side, because this is where we're putting our cotton ball. How cute is that? Okay, so now we're going to adhere the cotton ball down. I'm going to use liquid glass again. This works really good. The only thing is you don't want this to come out of the edges, so put the glue toward the center, because anywhere liquid glass is on your paper, it will show. It's not like a like an Elmer's or something that dries flat. It dries glossy. I'm going to bring the card back into the picture because I want to lay my bunny down here where I like him. That's a good spot there. And I'm going to close the card. And I'm going to place my tail using the front of the card with it closed. And one reason we did the bunny in a silhouette, or the reason I did it in a silhouette, is because through here I only want you to see one color, not 2 or 3 colors of the bunny. So there's that. Isn't that cute? And now when you open it up, there's a bunny. Now he's not adhered down yet. I just wanted to get that right. So now we're going to adhere him down. Now again, when you do this, you want to be sure, what you can do is hold this up, put him where you want him, and let the card close. And then smash. Lift it up and he should be just right. He is. He's a little crooked, but we can straighten him a little bit. Cute, cute, cute. I like him. Okay, and now for our sentiments. Now I did not have exactly the sentiment I wanted for the bunny, so here's what we're going to do. This says, happiness lives here, and this comes from the stamp set that is Love Life from Close to My Heart. It is really cute, and it's just right here, happiness lives here. This stamp set is number D1482. Move that out of the way. And so we're going to use that really quick. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a piece of Scotch tape. I know you've seen this before. We're going to tear off a piece. And then I'm going to take my small scissors and cut this down a little bit. Just like that. And then I've already mounted, I've got some cotton on that. I've already mounted the sentiment to the block, but I want to get rid of the A because I'm going to make this say happiness lives here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this piece of tape, taping it to the block and over the A and then to the block on the other side. Let me put paper behind that so you can see that. So I have the tape going across the sentiment all the way across. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that it's not touching the P just by pressing down. And make sure it's not touching the H by pressing down between them just to kind of clear those out. Okay? Using some, this is Close to My Heart Tulip, which matches that Stella pack really well. I'm going to ink it up. I have ink all over me. I've been inking all morning, just playing and having a good time. Ink, ink, ink. Okay. Now, this is very important. You want to then take your tweezers, grab this tape, and pull it off. Because now your A will not have any ink on it, but everything else will. I'm going to take a little piece of green paper that I've created, just cut it out of some of that juniper cardstock, and then I'm going to press that down really firmly so all the letters show, but the only thing that won't show is the O, or what will be the O, because I want this sentiment to say happiness lives here. I'm going to bring you in and let you see that. Or out first. I always do that. See how that says happiness lives here? And we got that because we just masked off that A. There's an A right here, and we just put the tape over that. So that worked really well. And now what I'm going to do for my O, because I don't have a stamp that I really wanted to put in there, you could just, if you had an O that would fit, you could just stamp it. I'm going to take a white jelly roll pen, and I'm just going to draw my O, because I think it's really cute. It kind of mimics the cotton ball, and it'll kind of make that pop on my card. I want to make this into one of those little ribbon pieces like you see a lot of people using nowadays. I'm going to take my scissors and put them, oh, I'm going to get the tape off of it first. Okay, so I'm going to take my small scissors and I'm going to line them up in the center of my paper, and I'm going to cut straight down. What that's going to do is give me a point to bring my other points to. Then I'm going to go to the one corner, take one corner and go to that point, and that will fall out. And then take one corner and go to that point, and that will fall out. And that gives me a really defined point. You don't have to have on that much. If I had cut the paper down a little bit, it would have been smaller. This kind of reminds me of bunny ears, so I may be okay with it. We'll see when we get bring the card back over. And my thought process was to put this about right here. Just says happiness lives here. And I'm going to use dimensionals. Look, this is where I messed up. Remember I told you, make sure you take the tape off? I didn't take the tape off of this side. So, make sure you do. You'll learn the hard way. Pick my spot for it. Put it down. Happiness lives here. Now, one more thing to finish this card out. I'm going to open it up. And right here, I'm going to stamp from one of the spring stamp sets from Close to My Heart with different greetings on it. I'm going to stamp the words Happy Easter. And so I'm going to use some brown stays on, some timber brown, because it's really dark on that red paper. It should look really good. Happy Easter. Oh, I think this is so cute. I even think kids could do it, or, you know, especially help you build the little bunnies. They're pretty easy to build. And then it's kind of a surprise when they open it. Happiness lives here, and where does it live? It lives in this little hole. There it is. How cute is that? I hope you enjoyed it. I know that was a lot of techniques to learn in one video, but maybe you can take some of those and use them for something you're doing this year.